Warm welcome, you watching Breaking Ground with me, Meghna Deka. Over the last 1 hour, here on Times Now, we got you exclusive details of the Mumbai police charge sheet which was filed, which has all the details of WhatsApp chats between the founder of Republic, Arnab Goswami, and the kind of alleged collusion that he had with the then boss of BARC, which is the rating TRP. In fact, not only have they colluded as per the opposition and have compromised on national security, we've been telling you how Times Now was specifically singled out and targeted for the high ratings that we were managing to get. We got you, before we took a break, we got you 5 different chats where we showed you just how Times Now's ratings were pulled down. It was not organic, it was artificially pulled down, and the Republic's ratings were pushed up, if you have to believe the WhatsApp chats. Now we are getting you the next big tranche of WhatsApp chats, which is going to show just how the BARC chief was being carefully tutored and was guided by none other than Arnab Goswami. We're going to get you these excerpts. On your screens, we're going to put out these excerpts. These are the excerpts which are from 22nd of March 2017 between Arnab Goswami, the founder of Republic TV, and the BARC chief Partho Dasgupta, to which Partho on 22nd of March 2017 had written and typed out a message to Arnab saying, what about the ratings? And to which Arnab has replied, very, very, very well covered, much ahead of Times. Then he goes on to say, big holes in Times, because the ratings of Times Now were high. Then he goes on to say, and my South is covered fantastic. So exclusively he's talking about South, saying that it's very fantastically covered by BARC, which is the rating agencies. To which, and this is the incriminating part, to which Partho Dasgupta says, bol diyo, where all? He's asking him, you tell me, where all you wanted to be well covered, those are the areas that we will be focusing on. This is the implication of these WhatsApp chats. To which Arnab Goswami has said, FII have placed distribution head in Bangalore. He goes on to then say, need to meet once. Next week, ? So he's meeting, actively colluding and having meetings with the chief of BARC. To which Partho Dasgupta has said, will help. If you do well, I will again be told your friend. Will help. Why is the chief of BARC saying that he's going to be helping one specific owner of one of the television channel? These are questions which are now going to be raised and currently being looked into in the Mumbai police charge sheet. All of these references are coming in, which is why there are these questions which are being raised as to why the then BARC boss had guided him. So let's go across to our reporters. There's Prashant, who's joining us with more details on this. Well, Prashant, as well as Megha Prasad is joining us, our senior editor. Prashant, to you first. You must explain to us the implications of these chats that we are getting for our viewers here. The fact that he's talking rather to the head and the founder of one of the TV channels as my friend. You tell me, tum bol diyo kahan par chahiye coverage?
This is a big revelation that is coming to fore. And the fact is, the entire TV business runs on the kind of revenues that you get in terms of advertisements. Now, who decides the advertisements? What are the factors that actually drive the ad revenues? The prime factor, of course, is the reach and your viewership. Now, if you are doctoring the viewership, if you're chewing into the viewership of someone else by mere cheating, that is the result that we have got. What essentially Arnab Goswami managed to do is that he managed to get the BARC former CEO on board. Everything was being done on his behest. Partho Dasgupta was a mere someone who was taking dictations from Arnab Goswami on what exactly needs to be done and how ratings could be manipulated. And Times Now has been the biggest sufferer, according to Mumbai police. The Mumbai police has on record come out and said several times that perhaps it was the Times Now that was the leading channel at that point in time. And Arnab Goswami managed to push it down just by colluding with the BARC as an agency, and also Partho Dasgupta as its former head. So clearly there are ramifications of this. Now, how far does the Mumbai police actually take it is the question. But for now, the evil designs of Arnab Goswami is completely exposed. And we have seen that hitting the ground as well, with the opposition coming out and questioning not only this, but also in a way the kind of secret messages, the sensitive informations that he has shared with the BARC former CEO, which the opposition claims is very, very damning in nature and also something that poses a serious threat to the nation's security.
This is part of the larger plan, it seems, to pull down the ratings of Times Now. Megha, stay with us because our viewers must be told about some of the other excerpts that we've managed to access. We're going to get our viewers some of those and then go across to what it really means. Yes, there was a reference to the South. Why was that? We're going to tell you now. Because Partho Dasgupta had tweeted to his own COO saying, show Calcutta high TSV of Times Now as well, that the ratings of Times Now happen to be very high in Calcutta, and other justifications. Partho Dasgupta speaking to the COO here, to which he says, I will start talking. We'll start talking, and once we are ready, we'll call Mint as well. Then he goes on to say, and this is a reaction coming in from the COO, he says, okay. Then Partho Dasgupta says, talk about small networks in Chennai. Chennai is where, remember, the ratings seem to be doing very well for Republic as per what Arnab had written. In fact, he goes on to say, also please keep an eye on this week numbers. Ideally, prune Chennai. This is, imagine, prune Chennai, prune the TRPs of Chennai and make the gap small. This after discussing how in Chennai, Times Now happen to be getting high numbers, so prune down the ratings there. Chennai gap at 2+ is now 22+. Up we bridge the gap, Republic will fall to 2. If we bridge it, then Republic's numbers will come down, and that is a concern apparently for the chief of BARC. He then goes on to say, cut Calcutta with a question mark, to which Romil Ramagaria, who is of course the then CEO of BARC, says, we'll check the numbers and see what needs to be done. That we will look at these numbers, see what can be done. Remember, they're talking about data which should not be tampered in the first place. TV ratings on which all the revenue and share prices are depending on, these numbers are being re-looked into as per their own admission in these chats, if this is to be believed. Then he says, will do is the reaction coming in from his own CEO. Not just that, they've talked about Calcutta. We'll tell you several other such chats which were also happening. For example, this one on your screens, where Partho Dasgupta writes, again to his source, tomorrow ET story may mention high ratings of Chennai for Republic as anomalies. There were already concerns which were there. He says, you should alert Vikas to get his troll army to troll ET about Times Now Calcutta numbers, because the ratings were that high. So let me go back across to Megha Prasad. Now Megha, the reason why this is so very disturbing, they are openly discussing in these WhatsApp chats, if they are true, they are discussing about doing what they can to these numbers. This entire TRP business is based upon hard facts, on concrete numbers. Why are they being tweaked?
The story of alleged collusion actually comes to the fore. Was some sort of wrongdoing going on between these two gentlemen? Also, has fraud been committed at multiple levels here? That's the question, Meghna, because, you know, the excerpts that we are putting out, that is there out in the public domain, does tell you a couple of things. One, that strategies were being shared by BARC with the Republic TV that would help Republic TV in perhaps furthering its numbers. That details, sensitive, confidential, as per the words of the former BARC chief, Partho Dasgupta. In his own words, he called some data confidential and yet said that I'm sharing it with you, Arnab, that we do not talk with others at this level. And Arnab responds by saying, I appreciate it. So that is number two. Also, of course, cutting numbers of Times Now from a certain city, trying to push up the numbers of Republic from somewhere else. All of this points towards multiple level collusion, alleged collusion between, a owner, a part owner and a chief of a news channel, a private news channel, and of course BARC on the other hand. Will this be investigated into by any other body apart from Mumbai Police? Mumbai Police is looking into the TRP scam already. Their opinion, which they have spoken about in the press conference, is that by achieving or by helping Republic TV gain the number 1 slot. BARC indirectly, of course, also helped Republic in furthering its revenues and perhaps asking for more money by way of advertisements,
Right.
by increasing its share prices. So was there monetary gains that Republic TV got by way of this manipulation?
Absolutely.
A manipulation allegedly that was helped by the